I got up this morning and I went to Hobby Lobby and I purchased this 100% cotton gingham fabric. I'm going to be making this McCall's 8312. I'm going to make it a top instead of a dress. So I have all my pieces here and I'm about to start pressing everything so that I can get started. These skirt pieces front and back are pretty long. Here's what the shortened skirt piece looks like. So this is how I want my top to look, and then I will hem it once it's all sewn together. I just took the front skirt piece and the back skirt piece, and after I determined how long I wanted the top to be, I just folded up the pattern and then I cut my fabric out in this new skirt piece, the length for the front and the back piece. Hobby Lobby had a lot of different colors of this gingham print. They had pink, purple, black, green, and red. They may have had other colors, but those are the colors that I saw in store. And I really like the way this top turned out. Here's the back. And I have made this pattern 3 times. So I'll show you the first one. The first time I made this dress, I purchased the fabric also from Hobby Lobby. And it also is a gingham type of print. The sleeves on this pattern are a little short, so I did add 4 to 5 inches to the sleeve pattern this time around, just to lengthen the sleeves. And the pattern does come with pockets, which I did not put on this dress, but I did put the pockets on the dress that I made the second time around, which is this black one. This fabric is from Mood Fabrics. I did the view where you have the wide sleeves with no band around the bottom. And here are the pockets on the side. So I really like this dress too. So each time I made the pattern, I did the sleeves a little bit different. Other than changing the sleeves, the only other thing I did was to shorten the front. So when I had it on the dress form, it came down a little bit longer, but as I was sewing it, I decided to take the front up a little bit more than it was on the dress form because I wanted it short. And then I just have it paired with a pair of barrel jeans. I am about to make an apple pie. I have my iPad over here and then my laptop over here. And what I'm going to do is make the filling first, and then I'm going to let my pie crust thaw, and then I'll fill the pie up, or fill the crust up with the filling. So my crust is frozen right now, and I just put it in the refrigerator. So I'm going to go ahead and make this filling, and then I'll just put it in the refrigerator until I'm ready to use it. I'm trying to scroll down to get the full recipe. So then on this side, I'll do the ingredients that I need. This just makes it easier for me so I can just go back and forth without having to scroll up and down, especially if I have things in my hands. So I like to put the ingredients on one side and the directions on the other. And I just purchased this workstation, which I really love. You can keep pens and markers in here. And this is a dry erase board. And what I'm planning to do with that is to write ingredients. Because sometimes when I'm cooking, I realize that I need some stuff and I don't have a way to write it down in the middle, and then I end up forgetting. So I think if I have this board here, I can just quickly jot down what I need and keep moving on with what I'm doing. And this is magnetic. So if you wanted to like hang something up to it, you can. I just got this board yesterday in the mail, and I was like, I'm gonna try it out today in the kitchen, and hopefully it will do everything that I wanted to do. The real reason I got it was because I want to use it for my Bible studies, so I can jot down scripture and then not have to really take away from what I'm doing in the moment that the scripture is first mentioned. So, okay, here are the ingredients and here are the instructions. last time I made apple pie was on Thanksgiving of last year, and I was not happy with the way that the pie came out. It was very watery, and I was like, what happened? I poked holes in the top so that everything could steam out and everything, and I don't know what went wrong. So I did a little research, and one thing I saw was that you can try to cook your apples before putting them in the pie crust, which was something I didn't do when I made it in Thanksgiving or on Thanksgiving. So I'm going to try that this time and see if that makes a difference. The recipe I'm following is a recipe where you cook the apples, and it tells you what to put in the pot or in the pan when you're cooking the apples. It tells you how long to cook the apples for. So I'm going to follow that. Hopefully everything will turn out much better. We still ate the pie, but it just wasn't that good in my opinion. I am ready to bake, so into the oven it goes. Here's the workstation all folded up, and I'll link it below if you're interested. I was sitting on the couch and I was getting a little chilly, so I came in here, my sewing room, and I looked through my closet and I saw this, which is a garment I made so long ago, and I made it out of quilted fabric, and I was like, oh, I could throw this on to just sit around the house to keep me nice and warm. So that's what I'm about to do. I'm about to go sit back on the couch. We are cooking today because we have some family and friends coming over. So this will keep me presentable while I wait. I didn't really want to put on like a bathrobe, but this works just fine.